Good afternoon. You're welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Natasha Jamra. Coming up in the bulletin today. Over 500 school children within the Ashaman municipality battling severe visual impairment and other learning challenges without the needed supports. And 24-Hour Economy Program Secretariat rejects claims that the policy has failed, insisting 4 agreements have been signed within the past 90 days, expected to create more than 160,000 direct jobs. Also coming up, Parliament passes Tribunals Bill to establish legal framework for the operation of tribunals in Ghana, despite opposition from the Trades Union Congress and a boycott by the minority. We have details of these and many more coming your way. Do stay. Thanks for staying. You're watching News Beat. And now let's start with the lawmaking house. Parliament has approved the Tribunal Bill 2026, despite strong opposition from the Trades Union Congress and a dramatic walkout staged by the minority caucus. The minority accused government of attempting to create a chaotic judicial vote on a controversial clause. Take a listen.
Chaos in the system. Mr. Speaker, how on earth do we create a new system to compete with a known system just because somewhere in the constitution certain pronouncements are made? So we should bring an enactment to govern it. Is that what we are doing? A district tribunal, a regional tribunal, to do what? Mr. Speaker, a tribunal to do what? To compete with the High Court? Or to compete with the Court of Appeal? Or there's going to be a Supreme Tribunal Council? Because if you start this way, what you are going to do is now you are now going to have another Supreme Tribunal Council, which is going to now, you tell us that the Constitution talked about it, so that is also equivalent of a Supreme Court. That is what you are trying to do. Mr. Speaker, I do not think that we need this provision. The entire clause 4 be deleted. Mr. Speaker, the entire clause 4 be deleted. What kind of chaos are we setting? Are we introducing? In the name of reset, you have a district court, you have a circuit court, you have a high court, a court of appeal, you have a judiciary architecture that is not broken. Is it the creation of tribunal system? No. Mr. Speaker, you want a Chobwe court. That is what you want. Where justice delivery cannot be guaranteed. Populism, Mr. Speaker, we don't need this. We don't need this.
Well, Majority Leader Mahama Yariga defended the passage, insisting the establishment of tribunals was a promise made by the ruling NDC and overwhelmingly endorsed by Ghanaians. Speaking on the floor after the vote, he said millions who backed the NDC at the polls would welcome the decision.
Officially in Friday. So it means that members sat since yesterday actually doing a 24-hour economy work and have passed a bill that is a major commitment of the National Democratic Congress. We campaigned on this particular proposal that if voted for, if elected into office, we will establish the tribunal system of the administration of justice. This message was overwhelmingly voted for by the people of Ghana. I believe that those who today are questioning our decision to enact this law are in effect questioning the judgment of the several millions of Ghanaians who voted the NDC into office. We as a party will remain true to the commitments that we made to the people. And so let me commend members. We know that Ghanaians want to have confidence in the administration of justice. We believe the setting up of tribunals will go a long way to restore confidence in the administration of justice. Let's give the tribunals an opportunity. Let's shape it and make it deliver expeditious administration of justice, which we believe will engender public confidence in our democracy. So I want to thank the Speaker for persevering. He has been sitting since yesterday and has so ably steered the affairs of this House for us to arrive at this successful passage of the bill.
Still in the House, after a marathon sitting that stretched past midnight, Parliament has passed the Tribunals Bill 2026, despite a boycott by the minority. The bill now awaits presidential assent to become law. The legislation establishes regional and district tribunals to handle specialized cases such as illegal mining, tax and customs offences, fraud and economic crimes. Government argues the tribunals will speed up complex prosecutions and expand access to justice. Critics, however, warn about timing and demand safeguards to guarantee judicial independence.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded. It is for the consideration of the House. I'll put a question. As many as are in favour of the motion number 29 at page 20 of today's order paper say aye. Aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the motion is accordingly adopted.
An act to provide for the establishment, jurisdiction, composition, and operation of tribunals in accordance with the Constitution, establish the Tribunal Oversight Committee, and for related matters.
Honourable members, the Tribunal Bill 2026 is now duly read for the third time and passed.
Now in Labour, the Member of Parliament for Fuasia UEB in the Eastern Region, Kojo Pon Nkrumah, has called on the NDC government to return to the One District, One Factory initiative. Now he's describing it as the most practical path to industrial job creation for Ghanaian youth. Speaking during parliamentary debate on government policy, the former Information Minister cast doubt on the delivery of the flagship 24-hour economy program, warning that time is running out on its promise.
Mr. Speaker. Now, Mr. Speaker. Now, what is at stake is that they have removed a policy measure, the One District, One Factory policy, and have replaced it with this 24-hour economy policy. Mr. Speaker, the National Development Planning Commission of the Republic of Ghana reports in the annual progress report for 2024, which was published in June 2025, that there were 150 One District, One Factories operating. It's not my report, it's the NDPC's report. Earlier today, the Chief Whip was suggesting that somebody has not read. I don't want to say that those who are surprised may not have seen the report. It's in the report. The NDPC report says at least 150 of the 1D1Fs were functioning as at the end of 2024. The policy architecture in place that would have given birth to a lot more has been removed. And now we are replacing it with a 24-hour economy policy, which is now, we are told, hinged on a 24-hour economy, market, and incentives that are yet to be birthed. Mr. Speaker, as we support the motion that this House should adopt this report, our recommendation, our advice includes the fact that this administration should go back to the 1D1F program. go back to that program. And if you have specific issues that you think you can amend in that program, correct it. Because 2 years after you took away that program, your replacement program is not delivering any new factories, is not delivering your 24-hour economy, is not delivering your 1-3-3 shift as you promised.
The 24-hour economy program has come under scrutiny, with ranking member on Economy and Development Committee Kojo Poninkoma questioning the achievement of the initiative and calling for evidence of its impact since its launch. He's demanding clarity on the projects and institutions operating under the program, while raising concerns about whether the policy is delivering measurable results for Ghanaians.
The promise of the 24-hour economy was clear. 1-3-3. One job, 3 people, 3 shifts. Mr. Speaker, this government is almost 2 years in office. And in these 2 years, they have appropriated about 650 billion Ghana cedis. That's what this House has appropriated for government to work with. Almost 2 years on, you cannot find one government agency that is applying 1-3-3. For all the stories that we were told, for all the analogies that were given, 2 years on, after appropriating about 650 billion Ghana cedis, you cannot find one agency that is operating 1-3-3. Mr. Speaker, that is the biggest testimony of the fact that this entire 24-hour economy program that was so well marketed, and all the issues that were raised about it, at the end of the day, it is not delivering on what it was promised. Mr. Speaker, now, what is at stake is that they have removed a policy measure, the 1 district, 1 factory policy, and have replaced it with this 24-hour economy policy.
Now let's move to the presidency. And President John Dramani Mahama has begun his 2-day accountability and resetting Ghana tour in the Volta region. The tour forms part of his commitment to account to the people of the region on his government's performance since assuming office. It will focus on infrastructure, education, health, security, and direct engagement with citizens.
The president began the tour by performing the official and historic sword-cutting ceremony for the construction of the 24-hour economy market at Joapon in the North Tong district. He was accompanied by government officials and national executives of the National Democratic Congress. While commending the president for his efforts to develop the country, Togbe Maklalu Agbohia, divisional and acting paramount chief of the Darfur traditional area, in his welcome address appealed to the president to revamp the Volta Star Textile Limited, construct the Volivo Bridge, and revive the Aveime Rice Mill Factory to create meaningful employment opportunities for the youth in the region.
Look forward to their implementations. In particular, we eagerly anticipate the construction of Volivo Adidoma Bridge, which will transform transportation, facilitate trade, improve access to social service, and strengthening economic integration within the Volta region. The revamping of the Volta Star Textile Limited, restoring one of Ghana's historic industry, creating sustainable employment and revitalization the local economy. The revamping of the Aveime Rice Mill, which will strengthen agricultural production and value to our produce and improve the livelihood of our hard-working farmers.
President John Dramani Mahama outlined the economic benefits of the 24-hour economy market, saying that when completed, it will serve as a catalyst for economic activities by creating jobs, empowering farmers, strengthening trade within the region, and boosting commerce across the country.
This market will become an important catalyst for economic activity. Farmers will have improved access to organized markets, helping to reduce their post-harvest losses. They will secure better returns for their produce. Traders will also operate in a cleaner, safer, and more efficient environment. While transport operators, artisans, food processors, and other service providers will benefit from the increased commercial activity. This market will strengthen linkages across the local economy, ensuring that more value is created and retained within the community.
The president also assured residents that the government would revamp the Volta Star Textile Limited, describing it as a game changer that would provide employment opportunities for the youth in the district and the Volta region.
The revitalization of this factory will create sustainable jobs in the Dwapong area. It will strengthen Ghana's textile value chain, and it will reposition Dwapong as a vibrant industrial hub, complementing our broader investments in agriculture, commerce, and infrastructure.
On the construction of the Volivo Adidome Bridge, President Mahama said plans are far advanced to re-award the contract so that work can commence as soon as possible.
Over the last 8 years, the delay in activating the bridge, the contractor who had been chosen to carry out the works got fed up and pulled out. So now we have to go through a new process to select a new contractor. And I'm assured that before the end of the year, that process will finish. The contractor will come and will cut the sod for the start of work.
President Mahama also took the opportunity to inspect the newly completed 1,500-seat multipurpose assembly hall at the Peki College of Education and multipurpose laboratory project at the UHAS Sakode campus.
The president has also announced that government will recruit 16,000 nurses in 2 batches to strengthen Ghana's healthcare workforce, with many of the newly employed professionals to be deployed to underserved communities. Speaking at the primary healthcare dialogue in the Volta region, the president also assured health workers that the government remains committed to improving their conditions of service as the economy recovers, describing healthcare professionals as one of the country's most valuable assets.
Health is our most precious possession. Nothing is more precious that you own, not your car, not your house, not your education, not the way you dress, not your clothes, not your expensive watches. Your most precious possession is your health. And when you are ill, that's when you realize how precious health is. And the ones that we train and appoint to give us care when we are sick are our health professionals. And that's why they're one of the most important segments of our community. Because when we're at our most vulnerable, they are there to care for us and bring us back to good health. And so government takes the welfare of our nurses and health professionals very seriously. And I've told the minister that as the economy gets better, we'll continue to improve your conditions of service so that you are encouraged to do what you have to do. And like he said, one of our major problems is not only in the numbers, and we'll continue to employ some more. Right now, we're giving him clearance to open the portal to absorb 16,000 nurses in 2 batches. The first batch is 8,000, the second batch is 8,000. So that by the time my daughters and sons who are waiting to complete training camp, there will be a shorter queue before they are posted. But the caveat we are giving is most of those that we're employing now, we are sending you to underserved areas.
The president also cautioned Ghanaians on unhealthy eating and lifestyle.
For those of us who say they have a sweet tooth, you better be careful because it is a passport to diabetes. I went to the Sweden-Ghana Cancer Center and they conducted me around. And one of the places I went was their lab. So when you come and you have breast cancer, or you have cervical cancer, or you have some cancer, they do what they call a biopsy. So they take a piece of tissue from the organ, and then they go to see if there's a cancer or what kind of cancer it is. And one of the things they put in the solution where they put the tissue is sugar. And I asked, why do you put sugar? It says cancer loves sugar. And so sugar is a trigger for cancer. So you might eat a lot of sugar, but your body is immune to diabetes, so your sugar level is fine. But excess sugar also triggers all kinds of cancers and all that. So eat sugar in moderation. But not only sugar, carbohydrates. Because when the body takes in carbohydrates and you don't use physical energy to utilize the carbohydrate because it's supposed to give you energy, the body converts the carbohydrate and stores it as fat. So let me repeat again. For those who come home late and ask for a big bowl of akple with fetridechi or a wokple, you are killing yourself slowly. If you eat a wokple or you eat banku or akple, eat it in the afternoon. In the night, just have something light. And always eat early. By 7 o'clock, you should have finished eating. And don't go to bed immediately after you eat. Sit, watch TV, do a few things. Then around 9:30, you can prepare and go to bed. You still get the 7-8 hours of sleep you need by 5 o'clock in the morning. And you can still wake up and go to
Education is mounting pressure on the Ghana Police Service to urgently locate and arrest the interdicted Bole Senior High School teacher who remains on the run weeks after a nationwide search was launched. The ministry says the suspect's conduct was deliberate, citing additional videos of alleged inappropriate behavior with female students. In a statement signed by the Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Clement Apak, the ministry expressed concern over the delay in apprehending the suspect, describing his alleged misconduct as serious and of significant public interest. The ministry noted that the teacher recently granted a media interview claiming his actions were unintentional and requesting a transfer to a village school. It believes those developments provide useful leads that police can use to track him down through digital investigations and engagements with the media outlet involved. According to the statement, available evidence, including additional videos allegedly showing similar inappropriate conduct with other female students, suggests the teacher deliberately abused his position to exploit vulnerable learners. The ministry reaffirmed Education Minister Haruna Iddrisu's condemnation of the incident, describing it as unacceptable, shameful, and inconsistent with the ethics of the teaching profession. It also appealed to members of the public with information on the suspect's whereabouts to report to the police or the Ministry of Education. Meanwhile, the ministry says it remains concerned about increasing cases of indiscipline in schools and has directed the Ghana Education Service to take firm action against misconduct in line with existing laws. A national dialogue on addressing indiscipline in Ghana's educational institutions is also expected to be convened in the coming weeks. In education authorities in the Ashaman municipality are raising concern over the increasing number of school children battling severe visual impairment and other learning challenges without the needed support. Officials warn that many brilliant pupils are gradually falling behind academically because they cannot afford basic assistive devices such as prescription glasses.
The Ashaman Education Directorate says hundreds of school children within the municipality are struggling silently with visual impairment and other forms of disabilities that continue to affect their academic performance. According to the Special Education Coordinator for the Ashaman Education Directorate, Belinda Mauseleu, at least 527 pupils identified from 10 out of the 24 public schools screened within the municipality urgently require corrective eyeglasses to continue learning effectively.
Went in technology, I believe strongly that there are assistive devices that these physically challenged can use and feel comfortable in the classroom as well as perform to expectation. And apart from that, those with the speech challenges, I think if we get support, the speech therapists can work on them and they'll be able to speak to expectation, as well as those with the hearing problems. So we are appealing to corporate bodies, development partners, the public to come to our aid in Ashaiman and help these children. They can make it to the top.
Visit to the Ashaiman cluster of schools reveals some people sitting unusually close to the classroom boards while struggling to follow lessons.
This academic year, Obed came to my class brought by their KG2 teacher. I was informed that Obed have a special problem, and the problem is the eye. He cannot see from the board clearly. So I made him sit at the front seat, closer to the board, so that he can see from the board. I have a lot of challenges when he came at first, from the beginning, because a child who suffered from the eye, you could imagine what will happen.
Teachers say several of the affected children are academically gifted, but their visuals are gradually making classroom learning difficult and frustrating. Beyond visual impairment, several other forms of disabilities and learning challenges have also been identified among pupils within the municipality. Limited access to assessment and support services continue to worsen the situation for many families. Municipal Chief Executive for Ashaiman, Freeman Cheku, described the situation as alarming, stressing that the assembly lacks adequate resources to support all affected children.
It was alarming for me as a chief executive to know that we have such huge numbers, over 500 kids within our schools that have either ear problem or have eye problem. So it means that even though they are sitting in the classroom, it is not everything that they are hearing well, and it is not everything that they are seeing and can read very well. As an emergency situation, there were some of them that were writing their BEC. So the assembly had to quickly go into its procurement process and procure some lenses for some of the girls who happily wrote their BEC for them to continue. But we currently have over 500 in both private and government schools within the municipality. And it is the understanding of the assembly through the special needs desk of the Ghana Education Service that if we are able to provide hearing device and as well as lens for these vulnerable kids, they will do well. And as an assembly, we will be handicapped in soaking the numbers. So we want to reach out to corporate Ghana. We want to reach out to philanthropists. And we also want to appeal to parents that they should be much more interested in their kids.
So the other 14 schools left, if we should go and screen, what will be the outcome? And as a special education coordinator, in fact, there's no fund anywhere to support these children with special needs. At times, I do come out with my own personal money to support them. And I wish the government will be clear on a percentage of quota. That's the financial aspect. A quota that is solely meant to take care of children with special needs. We are aware there's a disability fund, but we don't know the clear boundary or the clear division or a portion that belongs to children with special needs.
The story of Obed and his friends raises concern about supportive systems for those who are physically challenged. They are really affected, and their education is equally affected. Now,
they are calling for support from the public, at least to get corrective error eyeglasses to be able to study, and any other devices that will support the physically challenged so they can learn and become better people in the future. From here, in the Ashama cluster of schools, Samuel Asama reporting for Metro News.
The Ukrainian community in Ghana with its partners have supported urban refugees affected by the recent flooding in parts of Accra. The initiative reflects the shared commitment of both partners to providing timely humanitarian assistance to vulnerable populations during times of crisis. There's more in this report.
The nation was organized to support refugee families whose homes, livelihoods and personal belongings were severely affected by the flood. Many of the beneficiaries were already living under difficult circumstances, and the flooding further exacerbated their humanitarian need. Representatives of the Ukrainian community in Ghana reaffirmed their solidarity with the people of Ghana and with refugee communities affected by the flood.
You have a small, not big, but very active Ukrainian community here in Ghana. And it was an initiative of Ukrainian ladies in our chat group in WhatsApp. And I was very impressed when ladies initiated a possibility to help their compatriots here in Ghana, and I am very happy that it was possible with the help of Ukrainian consortium, Food Consortium Rydne.
Speaking during the presentation, Joshua Samwacheme, representative of Rydne Food Consortium, reaffirmed the organization's commitment to promoting food security, humanitarian assistance and resilience among vulnerable communities across Africa.
Rydne Humanitarian Food Hub, it's not our first time. Last year, we offered humanitarian assistance to more than 9,000 people in Ghana. And this year, March, during the opening of the hub in Ghana, we donated food items to more than 7,000 people in Ghana. So we don't support when only there's a crisis. We see that always there are vulnerable in the community. And we want to continue to partner with the Ghana Refugee Board and other government agencies to give support to the vulnerable in the community.
The Executive Secretary of the Ghana Refugee Board, Dr. Nasibatu Tahiru Swala, expressed appreciation for the gesture.
Our refugees living in the communities have been affected by flood, and they have been displaced. They have lost their basic items, and there's a threat to their shelter and protection. And these essential items will go a long way to manage their anxiety, to help them in this critical time that they need this item most.
The relief package included essential food supplies and other basic necessities intended to provide immediate support while affected families recover from the disaster.
Moving on, the president of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, Michael Abiu, has called on industries to adopt artificial intelligence as a key tool for their marketing products and services. Speaking at the launch of the 36th CIMG Awards in Accra, he said the future of marketing lies in how well brands use AI to build trust, drive innovation, and achieve sustainable growth. The 36th Chartered Institute of Marketing Awards was held under the theme Brands Reimagine, Trust, Innovation and Growth in the AI Economy in Accra. The CIMG Awards seeks to recognize and celebrate outstanding marketing excellence in Ghana. This year's theme highlights the growing role of technology, especially AI, in shaping the marketing profession.
It has been one of the most credible awards, and it's survived 36 years. Every major organization that has ever won it has been able to put it across, and you see them display it with pride. We have over the years and strengthened the processes. We have digitalized the processes, and it is an award that is basically evaluated by technocrats and practitioners.
We're crossing over to Parliament now as the minority is briefing the press with some ministers after a meeting on accountability.
This obligation must be fulfilled and that this committee must get this work done. And so we are looking forward to meeting all the ministries, departments, and agencies. Those that do not turn up would have to unfortunately inform Mr. Speaker that they have not attended on Mr. Speaker's instructions. We'll also be going into the regions and the districts because the district assemblies also have development plans that are also part of this. And so we'll be getting down there to do the work. This government is running what they call the reset agenda. President Mahama is a former member of parliament, and I believe very much that he himself will be looking to see parliament do its work well. And so we are expecting that all of those who have to attend upon this committee to respond will do so. I want to leave you with also the rules of engagement. This committee meetings will be held under the rules of committee meeting under Order 2661. These committee meetings, and I would read the provision, it says proceedings of a committee meeting shall be held in public, except otherwise determined by the committee. So it is only for those that if there is something extraordinary in it, then the committee can discuss. Other than that, these are public meetings to which you, the media, are invited to cover so that the people of Ghana can follow how ministries, departments, and agencies have utilized the resources in achievement of the targets that have been set. Chairman, I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you, media. Thank you for coming. I don't think you have questions to ask. This information. You have a question? Okay. Do. Go ahead. Speak to the microphone.
My name is James Haveji with Joy News. Chairman, I'm curious whether this information to the MDAs is coming from a trend you have observed, and if that is the case, for those who do not know, what are the consequences of not honoring an invitation from your committee? Thank you.
Okay, any other one so that I'll add on. Okay.
Yeah, my name is Clement Akolo. I report for Parliament News 360. What I want to find out is, it appears this is the first time I'm hearing that such a thing is happening. So I want to find out whether previously this particular mandate was available, but it was not utilized. And in your first year as well, I didn't see that happening. So if there is any clarification, thank you.
Okay. Maybe another one so that, okay, my friend, you report on business, right? Business Times or something like that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to find out the timelines when you intend to commence this whole.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
you very much. My name is Ohene Ampons. I work for Adom TV and Adom FM. Chairman, one of the lamentations.
You can say.
Okay. Chairman, NDPC for one how power work can they be a wushia work can say. One day, a new ma was a washer, so mine be too pono, 1 year dear. Now, so I beg you, Makuna was at what the sad year Jumano, one in fine year Juma. Samoko Namuko who say, I buy a Jumaku be amfa a new ma, Sir Jumakua yede, or mine to me asha one, Sasa one shen and puntu and cosono, so one am fine year Juma, a day and a young. Okay,
and then, Chair, last one, the NDPC has. For a very long time, be emphasized the need for a long-term development plan to guide us going forward. I mean, in the context of what's your mandate, as you examine the progress reports of the development plans of government agencies, what is the commitment of this committee to ensuring that this mandate of the NDPC, that it keeps emphasizing, is achieved? And lastly, even as you go into the report ranking, you may want to share with us some of the striking observations that you've made in the report, even though it was launched just yesterday.
I think let's take these questions. I'll start from the last one. Long-term D plans is not part of the mandate of this committee. constitutionally, it has been given to NDPC to work on. I can't speak so much about that. Then you're talking about the enforcement. Assuming a ministry, department, agency is invited and did not or refuse to attend upon the committee. You see, every committee of parliament is more or less a high court. So if you are invited to appear before a committee and you refuse, I want to use the word refuse, then you know what will happen to the ministry. So that one, we don't have any problem about that. Now listen to me. NDPC, Madam Director General, you are here. I'll say this. NDPC for so many years has been shelved. Shelved. People don't hear about them. And I'm very happy somebody said that this is the first time that you're hearing NDPC and the Committee on Economy and Development. Actually, it is true. You see, this development that you see within this committee is through the leadership style of Erika for the chairman and Honorable John Nkrumah, the ranking member. You see, this committee is different from other committees. One, when you take the Public Accounts Committee, it deals with financial issues, but it's connected somewhere. They deal with infractions. Maybe you were supposed to go and buy this, did not bring receipt. Why didn't you bring receipt? Or you were supposed to use this money for this, misappropriation. But Committee on Economy and Development, we deal with targets set by NDPC. You see, you have what we call medium-term development policy framework that every government uses. It is done by the NDPC. It's in various budget statements. And therefore, it is a responsibility of the NDPC to go and monitor and evaluate what you're able to do. Bring it to the committee to sit down and interrogate and give recommendations as to how you run it within the NCON year. So we have started. That is why you have come out with this press conference. For you to let everybody know, especially we're going to the various metropolitan municipal assemblies. We spot them and see areas which are not working well. We go there and investigate why things are not moving on well. So this is a new committee, one of the new committees. This is not one of the old committees. This is a new committee. And you have the mandate. Our mandate is what has been spelled to you, so that we go according to that. Now, talk about timelines. Timelines, when we are starting it. It has been started. Currently, when you came, you saw Ministry of Health defending the 2024, their annual progress report, which was based on agenda for jobs too. So they came to tell us how they've been able to give jobs under their mandate and how they have been able to provide services to their people. After that, we give a report. You write a report which will be read at the plenary to see ministries which performed, those ministries which did not perform, and recommendations from the committee. So this is a serious task. My ranking member was very frank to tell you that media, you have to carry us along. Anytime we are having public hearing, come and pick it and take it away to inform the public about what you... Don't laugh, it's true. Something will pass through your hands, no problem. So thank you so much. Kojo, if I'm able to answer.
Yeah, Chairman, I think you've responded to all of the issues. I just want to speak to the issue of, are there any striking observations? So I don't want to preempt the report. It was published and launched yesterday. We have seen it. It's been laid in Parliament. We have seen it. We are doing our background analysis. We're going to have these public hearings here so that you have an opportunity to also hear the responses from the various ministries, departments, and agencies. Now, why this is critical is that the people of Ghana, at the end of the day, want development. This is the committee responsible for development across board, not limited to one sector, across board. The people of Ghana are not just interested in who has misapplied or applied some money in a particular way that you get a public accounts committee. They want to also see what are the targets that we have set for ourselves as a country. What has the money done in terms of fulfilling those targets? So the last health hearing that we had, neonatal mortality is getting worse in Ghana. It's in the report. This is the committee where they have to come and answer questions for when you took the money to go and reduce neonatal mortality, have you succeeded or you have failed? Because if after taking the money for neonatal mortality, it has gotten worse, then we don't care about how many, is it chips, compounds, or whatever you built, but the outcome is getting worse. This is a committee where it happens. Ambulance response times is getting worse. So what is the reason? And then we are finding out that there's no dedicated budget for the running of the ambulance service. So this is where now you can make those interventions for development. We also just found out that in Ghana, we don't have a benchmark for what you call OPD response times. You hear people complaining that I go to the hospital, I sit there 1 hour, nobody has attended to me. This is the committee where we work with NDPC and the ministries to set a target for OPD response time. For example, in the area of health, so that now we can measure them year on year, whether it's getting better or it's getting worse. So the people of Ghana are looking for development. This is the committee where now the report on development across the various sectors is being brought for 2025. And we're going to invite the ministers here with all their chief executives. And these are public meetings where you get to follow. And we will now ask them how they have performed on these targets. So before we start, that's why we want to set the rules of the game quite clearly so that there's no confusion anywhere. And they also have a clear understanding that, for example, in accordance with Order 278 of the Standing Orders, when we issue an invitation or a summons, an order to attend or to produce documents before a committee shall be communicated by someone signed by the clerk to Parliament or of a committee and issued by the direction of the speaker or the chairperson of the committee. And you know what it means if you don't respond to this summons. So that's why we're setting the rules quite clearly so that nobody will say we are being unfair to somebody or we are changing the rules midway. We want to be very clear from the beginning. And Mr. Speaker is very, very clear on what he wants done in this enterprise. Thank you, Chairman.
What plans I was away year no man to Pono, 1 year day. Now, Mose Beya, a Benjamin Kua, what do a big deal, much share no so. Sir, a honomono, and a me.
Okay, make a baby, man can't swing to well. First, the NDPC, now money come up for. It's your money come up for. This committee, come up for. I say, you don't share, baby. By this time, committee will you more pay through a certain agenda. I press a gun of whom you are buying all year. Until I take this approach. I press a gun of whom you are buying we buy it all year. I don't think, sir, media encounter way. You share with that. Say share media about how we are going to assess the economy of this country. Now we have it. This year, in the NDPC, the democracy. So let's work together. And media, you have to help this cause. You have to help this cause. That is your mandate. Why? At the property pa mo ha no an sa de we. Say be man puntu aye de akoso. It's true. Because without puntu o be de wa. So be hwe ma pepepe ya ba na puntu akoso. Magana fo nya nsuo, ye nya kwan papa, kokwa adwuma ye a lot of things. That's why you are here. Some bottom zo be ye. So this is a committee that will give you the information so that you go and sell it for us so that you can also develop yourself. So thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that was a live feed from Parliament. The minority is addressing the press on a meeting they had with some ministers on accountability. My name is Natasha Jamra. This has been Newsbeat. Up next, it's Good Afternoon Ghana. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit the Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Madam, I'm looking for Abena.
Abena, there is someone looking for you.
Madam, please, where's Abena?
Abena, yes, ma'am. Is this who you are looking for?
Madam, please get me Abena. Please.
Della. Abena bra.
Abena. Oh, Abena. If it's not Abena rice, you can't eat any of that.
Abena rice. FDA adjedi nkratso yatsum.
We're kicking your year off
in all her glory
with more because we've got you.
You get it?
You know that we got kicks, we got scores, we got action, we got roars.
My specialty.
We got drama, we got fun. We got more for everyone with an upgrade on us just for you. More channels, more shows, more reasons to stay.
We got you.
DSTV, we got you all the way.
Welcome to the program here on Metro TV, and Natasha Jamra brought us the news updates there. My name is Desmond Okrekudan, so we're getting into some conversations for the afternoon, and we're live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana. You can join us live on there, also on DSTV channel 277, 94.1 FM on radio also. And we're heading to Parliament where we'll be speaking to former Minister for Information and also MP for Ofuase Arebi Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. On a few days ago, he was questioning what the 24-hour economy secretariat was doing, saying that the government has already spent a lot of money for this particular initiative, and there's really nothing to show. There's been a statement from the Secretariat that is stating that there are about 268 filling stations, 33 manufacturers, and several public institutions who are already operating under the initiative, and also saying that about some $5.5 billion are in investment commitments, and they're targeting 1.7 million jobs by 2028. So he's joined us via Zoom. Let's get into the conversation now. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on the program. So this is what the Secretariat is saying, that they are working and they're targeting 1.7 million jobs by 2028. Some filling stations, some manufacturers are already operating under the initiative. Your initial remarks on that? Hello.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon to you and to your viewers. I think everybody is clear on what the 24-hour economy program is supposed to deliver to the people of Ghana. 133. One job, 3 shifts, 3 people. And we are getting to the end of the second year, 2026. August will soon be with us. We were informed that they will be creating about 1.7 million jobs under this 24-hour economy program. And as I've mentioned already, in these first 2 years, Parliament has appropriated for the NDC government about 650 billion Ghana cedis to meet all the priorities that they have as a government. And now, almost 2 years on, what the Secretariat is saying is that some filling stations are working for 24 hours. With great respect to them, and they are very respected persons, but with great respect to them, you are very much aware that many filling stations were working 24 hours even before the NDC government came into office. So if today you count the number of filling stations that are working for 24 hours and you tell us that about 200 and something filling stations are working 24 hours, that's laughable, because many filling stations were working before the NDC government came into office. If you go to Osu Night Market here, they were working in the night even before the NDC came into office. So, for example, if you go and count them and you say that there are people working there, therefore 24-hour economy is working, it's laughable. Because what we have been informed of is that the government is supposed to introduce some incentives and some interventions that will make people work for 24 hours. One job, 3 shifts, 3 other people. Where are those interventions, or where are those incentives? I'm not sure you have heard them even in the press release that they've put out, list even one. In fact, they have informed us that they are now working on those incentives to bring to Parliament later. So what have they done to incentivize any of those filling stations that were working before 2024, which are working now, or any factory that had a night shift, which is still working? If you can't show any incentives that you have, given them, you can't show any policy intervention that they are directly responding to, there's no causality. You cannot count them and say that these ones are working 24 hours, so it means that, you have been successful. In any case, what we've seen is a number on a paper. We haven't seen these factories. When the MPP said we were doing one district, one factory, you saw a Kumfi juice factory. We took you there. You saw the production. We took you to those who were doing ceramics. The president himself went there to commission them. So while I hear the Secretariat and I read their statement with great respect, the matter is a matter of fact. Res ipsa loquitur. There is nobody who can say that he is doing a 133 shift today as a result of any policy intervention under the 24-hour economy policy.
Right, and for people in government, when they're asked about this particular initiative, they do say that it's one that's going to take a while. And so when you reference that it's almost 2 years, we haven't seen anything tangible yet from the Secretariat, that's what they say. Do you think that we need to give them more time to be able to implement this properly, as was mentioned to us before the election?
Why we cannot give them more time is because they did not give any time to the 1D1F program that was running, and they cancelled it within the first 3 months of assuming office. Now, that program, according to the National Development Planning Commission, left at least 150 factories that were functioning. If you look at other official government statistics, it says about 170,000 people were working in these 150 factories. This is not my data, this is official government data. So if you kept it when you came into office and even tried to correct some of the errors that you thought you found in it, between January 2027 and now, in fact, between January 2025 rather and now, more factories would have been opening up under that 1D1F program. You could have even called it a reset 1D1F, but the policy would have still been there and people would have been benefiting. What you have done is that you have cancelled it. And so all the factories that could have potentially opened up under that program have been held in abeyance. And so the factories are not being opened up. The potential jobs that could have been created are not being created. And nearly 2 years on, you say that it is early days yet, and you are still putting your architecture in place. That, with the greatest of respect, is a colossal failure of public policy. It is not acceptable. What the business community requires from us, the political class, is consistency in economic policy.
Right.
You know that under the automobile policy, we provided incentives that enabled automobile companies to set up local assembling plants. In nearly 2 years, you have cancelled this policy, and their plants are sitting down empty. In fact, I challenge you and your reporters to go out there and talk to the automobile companies. They are bleeding. They have invested, and for 2 years you have cancelled this policy. You haven't replaced it with any new policy. Now you are telling us that you are building 24-hour economy markets where people will sell 24 hours. Please, go out there and find out. In the places where these old markets exist, do people even buy and sell 24 hours? And what makes you think, what sort of analysis makes you think that when you build a new market in these districts, people will all of a sudden, people who don't manufacture, they don't produce anything, people who don't have money in their pockets to buy because you have sterilized over 93 billion Ghana cedis from the economy. What makes you think that all of a sudden, just because you built a 24-hour market and named it 24-hour market, they will now start buying and selling for 24 hours? It's not going to happen. So it's a colossal failure of public policy, and that is why we cannot continue to sit by. And now here's the key. Every single day that we have suspended 1D1F and we haven't replaced it with anything else, youth unemployment is rising. That's why today the Ghana Statistical Service reports that youth unemployment is getting worse. It's now 32.4%. And in the Greater Accra region, is nearly 50%. 1 in every 2 young people that you meet is unemployed. Because the government has suspended programs it came to meet and has not replaced it with anything that is functioning at the moment. So their own answer betrays the failure in the policy architecture, and it's unacceptable.
And other concerns are that did they have to take you as a member of parliament to talk about this in parliament before the secretariat would come out with a breakdown of what they've done already, and also questions about how do we separate businesses that operated already and what they, as the secretariat, have been able to do with such businesses?
So those are the follow-up questions that I think the media has started asking, and I'm happy you've asked these questions. Because so far what they've done is that they've provided you with a headline number, and there's no breakdown even, so you can't even interrogate that data. But for myself and for my colleagues in the minority, especially those of us on the Committee on the Economy and Development, our job that has been given us by the people of Ghana is to hold the government accountable for the promises it has made, for the programs that it has rolled out, and for the budgets that we have released to them. And so that is why we have started raising it, that it's 2 years and there's no NDC chairman who can tell me that his child is working on a 133 shift under the 24-hour economy policy. There's no NDC women's organizer. They who would be the first persons to defend the government. None of them can say that their child or their daughter or their son is working on a 133 shift under the 24-hour economy program after this government has been given 650 billion Ghana cedis to fulfill whatever priorities that it wants to fulfill in the first 2 years. Nobody can say that. But our job is to hold the government accountable for the monies they've taken and the promises they've made on behalf of the people of Ghana. So we'll do ours. They have a responsibility to publish their data, and you have a responsibility also to interrogate that data.
But for you also, what would be the success of this policy for you?
Well, they've already told us the measure of success, 1-3-3. 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. I notice that the Secretariat now says that it has gotten about $5 billion in commitments. Okay, but those are even just commitments. The measure of success for this program is 1 job, 3 shifts, 3 people. You recall the NDC manifesto launch, where the young lady came and said that maybe we don't understand it, but they understand it. It's 1-3-3. That is a clear measure of success, and I think that is what all of us should keep our eye on. Even the commitments they are talking about, none of it is actual cash. It's what the Nigerians call audio money, money in your ears, but it's not put to any work, and you can't see any beneficiaries at the end. They are in power 2 years, 650 billion Ghana cedis appropriated to them. We want to see the beneficiaries of the 24-hour economy program.
Right, and so the Secretariat, with this, they're also saying that they've had some agreements about 5.5 billion. Have you seen those agreements? Has it been put before the committee?
We haven't seen those agreements. We haven't seen those agreements, and we are not here measuring agreements. We are here measuring 1-3-3. We are here measuring the impact of the 24-hour economy secretariat and the jobs that it is supposed to be creating on the ground. But you see, the 24-hour economy program is not the only policy failure of this government. Now they have started psyching the people of Ghana up gradually. Nkokon Ketenkete has also failed. You heard the agric minister here in this very room where I am in Parliament telling you that people have eaten the chicken, and they've sent him videos about it. I'm sure you have a copy of that video. This is not my narration. Those were his exact words. In fact, yesterday I was in the Kuapem North District as part of a field survey, and people who were given some of the Nkokon Ketenkete told us that every Sunday they have fufu parties with the chicken because they don't have money to keep feeding these chicken. So it is not new that the 24-hour economy policy, as we mentioned, is failing. The Nkokon Ketenkete, they are beginning to psych you up that is also a failure. Remember the last time they did guinea fowls, in the end they told us that the guinea fowls flew to Burkina Faso. Remember when they told us they were going to have a tree planting initiative under SADA, they told us that the trees got burnt. The NDC has a penchant for taking public money ostensibly for programs, and then you can't measure the outcome. And when you ask them, they come up with some of these ridiculous explanations that people have eaten the chicken under the Nkokon Ketenkete program. This is a program that has spent tens of millions of Ghana cedis ostensibly to reduce poultry importation into the Republic. And now we are being told that people have eaten the chicken. Does that sound like something that is acceptable to you? And I think that civil society organizations, academia, bodies that are supposed to be interested in public policy, economic policy, policy implementation, monitoring and evaluation, should stop sitting on the fence and take these matters seriously. Because this is taxpayers' money that has been pumped into these policies of the government. And we have been told stories that people have eaten their chicken. We have been told stories that they have signed agreements and they have gotten commitments. And the young men who got on the streets to vote under the belief that some 24-hour economy was going to work with a 1-3-3 job structure. Somebody will work in the morning, somebody will work in the afternoon, somebody will work in the evening on the same job, are being taken for a ride. And it's not acceptable.
Well, definitely, for the Nkokon Ketenkete conversation, we had talked about it. We understand there's going to be a second phase of that. But as you say, we're all saying that with how the very first phase has gone, there definitely needs to be something else to make sure that the second phase goes on as a...
Why would you do a second phase when the first phase of Nkokon Ketenkete has failed? You have admitted yourself that people have told you they've eaten the chicken. Why would you do a second phase? I would imagine that you want to do a monitoring and evaluation and understand what went wrong, so that you don't throw more taxpayers' money down the gutter.
Let's talk about what happened in Parliament yesterday with regards to the Bank of Ghana governor and the minority. You staged a walkout yesterday because there's supposed to be a closed-door session with that particular conversation with the Bank of Ghana governor. Do you think that there's anything that legitimizes the process to be a closed-door session and not to be open to the media?
No, the minority didn't walk out because there was supposed to be a closed-door session. I think that you shouldn't give that narration because somebody who didn't follow it may think that that is what happened. That's not true. That's not what happened.
Okay. Tell us what happened.
The governor was invited to answer 3 questions that were under my hand. And in accordance with the standing orders, the governor had to appear at the committee of the whole. If you look at Order 2661, committee meetings are public meetings. So the public is invited just like plenary hearings. It is only when somebody thinks there's something sensitive, something extraordinary, then that person will make an application that the meeting should be closed off. And then the committee will consider that application, and if we agree with that person, then we will close it off. So there are times like, for example, when we are doing the District Assembly's Common Fund, and we are going to be looking at how much money should go to each district and doing an analysis of districts where, you know, there are more people or less people and all sorts of ethnic and other things that we say it's a bit sensitive. You don't want to cause confusion somewhere. So an application is made and it is accepted. It is not the norm that meetings are closed-door meetings. The norm is that the meetings are public meetings. On this occasion, when the governor came, the NDC caucus, without discussing with anybody, they sacked the media from the gallery and said we should go ahead with the meeting. And we protested that no, this is a public meeting. The media must be in. We haggled with them for about 1 hour. They said they have refused. They have decided that the media should not be part of it. So they will not let the media be part of it. In fact, Leader Fenyo Markin asked the clerk to answer the question, who cleared the media? Because we haven't decided that this meeting should be closed off. Who cleared the media? And Roxanne Nelson Defia-Mekwa got up and said he, Somoto, on his own powers, he cleared the media from the gallery. I've never seen this kind of authoritarianism in Ghana's parliament, where a chief whip gets up on his own and without recourse to parliament decides that he has cleared the gallery. But at the end of the day, they said they will not let the media in. And so we elected that we will side with the media and side with the people of Ghana, because we are not here in our own name. We are here, I'm here representing the 100,000 people of Fuase Ayuribi constituency. Many other MPs are here representing tens of thousands of people from various constituencies. It is in the name of those people that we go on the floor to ask questions, and those answers are supposed to be heard by those people. So if a decision is made that we don't want the people to hear the answers, then what business do we have even asking those questions when nothing sensitive has been proven to us that there's a sensitive reason? By the way, the governor holds press conferences every month after Monetary Policy Committee meetings, and he answers questions from the media. What is so sensitive that will be asked in Parliament that cannot be asked there? And in any case, if a question is asked, the answer to which is sensitive, it's up to Mr. Speaker to say, I disallow that question. It is just because they know they've been playing a lot of propaganda and spin with the Ghanaian economy, and they know that the governor is coming to give truthful answers on record. The governor won't do politics or propaganda, and they're not comfortable with that because it will expose their politics and their propaganda. And for example, in the answers the governor sent us, he said that the reason for which they are getting dollars to pump onto the market is because of the domestic gold purchase program. And he gave the date from August 2024. And they know that that means that credit goes to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for being the one who, since independence, has come up with this idea that now mobilizes dollars. They also know that the question will come down, so why have they stopped building our reserves and are instead pumping it on the market?
Okay.
And they will have to answer truthful questions. And they are not comfortable with that. They know that there will be follow-up questions that what does this mean for our reserve build-up and our buffers? They are not comfortable with those answers. And the other follow-up questions. They know that when the governor says that they've spent 10 billion from January to December 2025, we will ask him, so how about January 2026 to now? And they are not comfortable that the people of Ghana will hear from the governor that this is how much money they have pumped onto the market just to create the impression that the economy has improved. When you know your light bill has gone up 28%, your water bill has gone up 18%, rent has gone up, school fees has gone up. Producers are telling you that the producer price index has gone up. The NDC caucus is not comfortable with the governor answering these questions. That's why they've closed the door. And this closing of the door is part of a broader pattern where they don't want people to speak in any way that criticizes them or makes them look bad. So if you talk and they are not comfortable with it, you go to jail for 1 year. If you talk and they are not comfortable with it, Yoko will come and arrest you. If you talk and they are not comfortable with it, like Reverend Intim Fojo did, they will send BNI to come to your house to come and arrest you. This is the Ghana in which we are today. So it's not an isolated incident. It's part of a pattern. And we encourage the people of Ghana to shine their eyes, open their eyes, and see what is going on for what it is.
So you believe that Parliament should summon him again to come in to answer these questions or these things that you've said to us this afternoon?
I won't put my cards on the table. In the last 2 minutes I have with you, what I'll say is that I won't put my cards on the table. Okay. We have other rules that we can employ to ensure that the truth is known to the people of Ghana. Do you know, for example, that our reserves at the central bank have gone down by about $2 billion within the last 2-3 months? Do you know that? This is what the governor was supposed to come and answer to and explain what they've done with that $2 billion. You know that they have sold 50% of Ghana's gold from independence till now. 50% of our gold. They've sold it to adjust their accounts, else their losses would have been worse than it was. They don't want the governor to come and answer to it. This is the third time we have tried to get answers. My motion to have an investigation on the gold purchase program was shut down. Patrick Boame's motion to have an investigation on why the gold reserves were sold was shut down. Again, they voted against it. And now the questions as well, they have blocked the governor from answering before the media. I can assure you that we will find other legal ways to ensure that the truth is told to the people of Ghana.
Right.
I thank you for your time this afternoon, and I can wish you all the best.
Right. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Kojo Ponkrumah, the Member of Parliament for Ofuase Ayuebi, former Minister for Information and also member on the Economy and Development Committee in Parliament, speaking to us there about what happened in Parliament yesterday regarding the Governor of the Bank of Ghana and also what happened with regards to his earlier statements on the 24-hour economy secretariat and questioning what has been done under this policy. The secretariat released a statement that they have a number of manufacturers, filling stations, all already working under this initiative, and we had to speak to him on that. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're talking about another incident that happened in Parliament, and that was regarding the tribunals bill, and we'll talk about that. We have the Member of Parliament for Afia joining us for a conversation on that. So stay with us. This is Good Afternoon Ghana. We'll be back shortly.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Samecha Sapapadia to a mammy man for Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several by a man is swing, Nesasu Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all, her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
Chicken.
Yeah, you know what to do. Parents, guardians, your Saturdays are about to be beautiful, exciting, and entertaining on Metro TV. You are going to enjoy what is called massive home entertainment with funny face. I am back again, children. We are about to celebrate in your schools. We are about to dance in your schools. We are about to do everything we'll do in your schools. You will enjoy, I will enjoy, neighbors will enjoy. Everybody will enjoy. Children, be ready. We are going to do chicken, cow and chicken, cow and chicken. You just flap your armpit, open it, flap it, open, flap. Yeah. You see me in your school, you just open your armpit and you flap it. Chicken, that's all. You know what to do. My brother.
Time with the Children's President, coming soon on Metro TV. In a time where noise is loud, but clarity is rare, one program is changing the conversation. Welcome to the Intelligence Desk. This is not a talk show. This is a working studio. Each week, we break down the biggest national and global issues from AI and digital transformation to trade, jobs, governance, and national competitiveness, and turn complexity into practical, usable knowledge. Sharp questions, structured thinking, real solutions built live on air. With resident resource person Dr. David King Boyson, the show moves beyond commentary, designing frameworks, mapping strategies, and holding decision makers accountable. From the big issue briefing to the strategy Lab to the Innovation and Opportunity Board, every episode delivers tools you can use. If you care about Ghana's future, if you value clarity over chaos, if you believe leadership requires intelligence, then this is your desk. The Intelligence Desk, hosted by RSM Kofi Dole Lawson on Metro TV, where Ghana thinks forward.
From finding your dream home to building a legacy for your family, the Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you are getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches, land commission, checking social planning authority, checking everything to make sure that what you are buying is not a problem or a challenge prone transaction.
The stress of even not owning a house and constantly coughing up to rent is a big issue.
Join me, Hannah Atiasi, and my distinguished panelists as we delve into exciting conversations.
Season 3 of The Homeowner Show, every Saturday at 6 p.m., only on Metro TV. Don't just own a house, build a legacy for your family.
Welcome back from the break. This is Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. We're going to have just a quick thoughts on the tribunals bill that was passed in Parliament. Of course, it's generated a lot of debates, but for you, our viewers out there, what do you understand by this bill? And so we're going to give you a brief of what this bill actually means, given the history to that. So you see on your screen the era of special tribunals. So that's from 1979 to 1992, and tribunals became prominent during the military government of the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council, led by Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings in 1979, and later the Provisional National Defense Council, PNDC, from 1981 to 1992. Now, in 1993, when Ghana became a fourth republic, these tribunals were reintegrated into the regular court system under the authority of the Chief Justice. Now, public tribunals and community tribunals were established to deliver speedy justice, and they handled criminal, civil, and economic crimes. And of course, many Ghanaians were happy about that. They appreciated the quick disposal of cases. But the controversy is also with allegations of political interference and also lacking judicial independence and violations of due process and human rights. And so the framers of the 1992 Constitution did not abolish tribunals. Instead, Articles 126 and 142 made regional tribunals part of Ghana's superior courts. Now, the Constitution, that's the 1992 Constitution, emphasized that regional tribunals would have the same status as the High Court. Now, Parliament would also pass legislation governing the composition, jurisdiction, and procedures, and members would include legally qualified chairpersons together with other members. So these were what the 1992 Constitution set out with regards to the tribunals. But Parliament never passed the necessary legislation to make these tribunals fully operational. So let's talk about this latest one in 2026. Now, in June 2026, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, laid this bill before Parliament, and this is what he seeks to do: to re-establish regional tribunals as contemplated by the Constitution. Remember, it is still in the 1992 Constitution, just the Parliament did not pass any necessary amendments to it, and so it's been dormant for that time, and to complement the existing courts that we have. And another important one is to reduce case backlogs and improve access to justice, and also to handle other specialized criminal and matters assigned by the law. So this is what the controversy is. For those who are for the bill, that is the government that is putting out this bill, is saying that the courts have significant case backlogs. That is one of the arguments being made. And also saying that the tribunals will provide faster justice. And also, they're adding that the Constitution already provides for them, so they're in there, and so we're just making them active again. And those who are saying that we do not really need this, say that the history of tribunals under military rule still raises concern. And yes, as I mentioned, it was under the leadership of Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings from 1979 to 1992, when we had seen the tribunals working. And also saying that instead of creating the tribunals or reactivating them, the judiciary should rather be strengthened through more judges and better infrastructure. So that's what the minority yesterday in Parliament was talking about, and also that there must be strong safeguards to guarantee judicial independence. For that, the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, has mentioned that there's going to be a committee that would oversee that and make sure that it is free and fair, and also devoid of political interference. But let's talk about the composition of this tribunals and their jurisdiction. Right. So who makes up the tribunal? Now, a chairman qualified to be appointed as a high court judge is the chairman for the tribunal. That's the regional tribunal, and at least 2 other members appointed by the Chief Justice will be in there. And there may be other members who may be lawyers, but also persons that in society, in the regions, are held in high esteem, high moral character, and proven integrity, are also members of the tribunal. They are appointed by the chairman is appointed by the president on the advice of the Judicial Council, and the other members are put in there by the Chief Justice. And the regional tribunal will sit as a panel for at least 3 members, the chairman and 2 or more members. And these are the cases that the tribunal will hear. Regional tribunals will have concurrent jurisdiction with the High Court over specified criminal offences, and that includes economic crimes, tax offences, customs offences, drug-related offences, cases involving the loss, theft or misuse of state funds or public property, and other specialized criminal matters assigned by the law. So these are the cases that the tribunal will be able to hear. And the ones that they would not be able to sit on are constitutional interpretation cases, enforcement of fundamental human rights cases, and any other matters specifically excluded by the law. So this is the composition and jurisdiction of the tribunals as put in there, the Tribunals Bill 2026 that has been passed by Parliament. We're hoping to speak to the Member of Parliament for Efia, Isaac Bamanyako, on this, but we're unable to reach him, and so we'll definitely do that. But this is just a brief of what the tribunal has been from 1972 to 1992, and it's been dormant till now that it's taken to Parliament and has been passed. So that's some education there for many of us who are just hearing about the Tribunals Bill and not understanding what exactly it is. Right, so let's listen to the Minority Leader Alexander Appiah-Markin yesterday in Parliament as they were debating this particular bill.
Great chaos in the system. Mr. Speaker, how on earth do we create a new system to compete with a known system just because somewhere in the Constitution certain pronouncements are made, so we should bring an enactment to govern it? Is that what we are doing? A district tribunal, a regional tribunal, to do what? Mr. Speaker, a tribunal to do what? To compete with a high court? Or to compete with a court of appeal? Or there's going to be a Supreme Tribunal Council? Because if you start this way, what you are going to do is now you are now going to have another Supreme Tribunal Council, which is going to now, you tell us that the Constitution talked about it, so that is also equivalent of a Supreme Court. That is what you are trying to do. Mr. Speaker, I do not think that we need this provision. The entire clause 4 be deleted. Mr. Speaker, the entire clause 4 be deleted. What kind of chaos are we setting? Are we introducing? In the name of reset, you have a district court, you have a circuit court, you have a high court, a court of appeal, you have a judiciary architecture that is not broken. Is it the creation of tribunal system?
No.
Mr. Speaker, you want a Chobwe court. That is what you want. Where justice delivery cannot be guaranteed. Populism, Mr. Speaker, we don't need this. We don't need this.
Sorry. So that's what happened in Parliament yesterday. You had the minority leader, Alexander Appiah-Markin. And we have a few minutes to go, and we're doing sports. The World Cup is coming to an end, an exciting one it has been. And Phil John Cote joins me with the latest updates there. Phil, good afternoon. Welcome. We have, 2 days to the end of the World Cup?
It's been very, very interesting. Yes. Janaba. That's it.
Let me ask that. Before the World Cup, there are lots of talks about the US, whether they'll be able to handle this, the high tickets prices and all of that. But we've seen I've not seen an empty stadium, even a half empty stadium like that at the World Cup. It's been exciting. All the other things that FIFA added to it, including the players getting onto the pitch and all of those things. You say that it's exceeded your expectation, has it?
I think the World Cup is fantastic. Forget about the negativity of the stories that has come following the World Cup. We always say that when football starts, everybody's going to forget about the negative aspect of it. The geopolitics of world football will not be part of it. The most important thing, what we're going to see on the field and around the field, and that has been handled very well, not only by the United States of America, in partnership with FIFA, Canada and Mexico. They've done very, very well. Yes, kudos goes to the American government or sports ministry. They've done very, very, very well. They always remember that they are not hosting the World Cup, but they're trying to make a lot of money. And again, to tell the rest of the world, maybe, just maybe, we'll shift from soccer and call it football now. So there's so many dimensions, but just like I was saying, but impressed us so far. Let's wait and see the third place match and the finals that we are told come with a little drama. For the very first time. First half with more than 15 minutes, and that should be very, very interesting in the name of entertainment and commercial. So let's wait and see, but so far, so good.
Right, so over a 10.
Yeah.
Over a 10.
So far, so 9 over 10.
9 over 10?
No, it can't be 10 over 10, no.
Oh, okay.
There's some negative things behind the scenes that we can't talk on air. We all know about. You and I know very well that we can't speak on air, but it can't be 10. They've done very, very well. Not only the American government, not only America per se as a football association, but the Mexicans are part of it, and those from Toronto, Canada are also part of it.
Right.
It can't be 10 over 10.
It really, I think after the group stages, I actually have forgotten that Canada and Mexico are part of the tournament. Yeah, true. Anyway, so we've got the third and fourth coming up tomorrow, and the final on Sunday. Yeah. What are they saying?
Well, the English will compensate themselves and see what they can grab the third place. The last time they went, they couldn't win it. This time around, France will also try as much as possible. They've been to the finals. They were defending champions before the Argentines overtook them. They also try at least to compensate themselves the third place. Remember, there's a certain Kylian Mbappe who is fighting for the goal kick race. Maybe, just maybe, the last match of Didier Deschamps will give him the opportunity to see whether he could win it. If he scores 1 or 2 goals, he might win it, because that final match involving Spain and Argentina will be the close contest. It's not easily to call. So yes, Kylian Mbappe will have a say in it to try and see whether he can score more goals. And maybe, just maybe, Harry Kane will also be in the flow. Remember that he has 6 goals too. So is the gentleman who comes from Birmingham in Jude Bellingham. So we'll wait and see how it's going to go. People don't regard too much the third and fourth place, but then you see the English guys over there stretching their legs, trying to prepare for that match against the French. It will be very, very interesting. Their manager, Ntiti, I'm talking about Thomas Tuchel, has had the barrage of bashes and criticism from the English press following their loss. They believe that he made them lose that very game against the Argentines, but there, They don't need to cry over spells make. It's happened already. They have to move on and see whether they can compensate themselves before they go back to London. So there you have it over there. Those are the English guys preparing against the French, who also were looking for it to grab the third place.
Yeah, I think this is when maybe Tuchel will make a number of changes.
Yeah, certainly.
To the.
There is a possibility from what we are hearing the tablets that. Okay, so there you have the French, you have the Czechia behind over there. We also had Didier Deschamps, not forgetting Corny, the new guy who has come in the middle. Did not do very well as was expected. But Didier Deschamps, tomorrow's game will be his last in charge of the French. Remember that he's been close more than a decade, and he'll give way to, we're picking that is likely to is going to be Zinedine Zidane, who will be in charge of the French national team. So there you have the Frenchmen over there preparing. You see Dini over there. A defender also trying to pick up. He picked up a knock during the last game and seeing whether he could be fit for tomorrow's game. He plays for Aston Villa in the EPL. These are the Spaniards that were preparing to take on the Argentines, the Lions of the Raya. I'm seeing your pictures over there. And the man that a lot of people would depend on him to mastermind the Spanish win is Rodri. Your picture is over there. He used to play for City, has moved on to Spain. All of them in your pictures over there will be very, very interesting. A lot of people will also be looking forward to Lamine Yamal to prove a point. Remember that the last time he had an encounter with Lionel Messi for the very first time was in La Masia in Barcelona. Somebody, he grew up as a baby looking at him playing the game, so very, very interesting. Then Raya in your shot over there, Cucurella and Co, all of them, Dani Olmo. And there's a man you're talking about over there. Lamine Yamal. A lot will depend on him whether they'll win or not. Between him and Dada Rodri, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Right, so
no, that was Sunday.
On Sunday. So for the game tomorrow, yesterday I was looking at some of the podcasts from the English media.
Yeah.
They talk about Kobe Mainoo.
Yeah.
You think that Tuchel did not do well, with them in terms of putting him on the bench throughout. He didn't play. In fact, it looks like he's the only player who didn't play anything for.
Okay, so what Thomas Tuchel's strategy was this: that let's play the first two games and see whether we qualify already. Don't give the opportunity. But after the first two games, they played Ghana already. They had 4 points. They needed to qualify for the next stage, and they couldn't gamble. Because Declan Rice and Anderson were doing very well in the middle. There's no way he was going to substitute together with Joe Bellingham. So there you have that factor. On paper, remember that Kobe did not prove too much at Manchester United. He might have done very well to ensure that they get to Champions League. But if you look at the combination between Rice and that of Anderson, who had just joined Manchester City from the Nottingham Forest, that telepathy was there. It was working. Some will say that yes, Kobe Mainoo should have been brought in the last game they played against the Argentine. But Tuchel has the answers. He has got a final call, and he believes that Kobe Mainoo was not needed in that particular game. Yes, he might be a good player, all right, but I don't think that he will play ahead of Anderson and that of Rice. It wasn't going to happen.
Okay, all right. So ahead of the game on Sunday, that is the final. Martinez is excited about leading the Argentinian squad for the final preparations for that particular game.
You are referring to the goalkeeper? Yeah. My friend, Lautaro Martinez.
Your friend, everybody knows that is Johnny's friend, Lautaro Martinez.
Lautaro Martinez, yeah. You remember he scored the winning goal?
Yes, he scored the winner there.
So, quite interesting. I'm sure Joshua will be happy in the background over there that they have mentioned Lautaro Martinez's name. But there you have the Argentines of Lionel Messi and Co. Relaxing, knowing very well that he's been to 2 finals already. Yeah. He knows how to play very well. He knows the Spanish boys very, very, very well. Majority of them are coming from La Masia, that's the academy side of Barcelona. He might spend time with Scaloni to try and see how they can strategize against the Spaniards.
Yeah.
The only standing block in them that very day will be Rodri in the middle. Because if Rodri comes to the party, it will be very, very difficult for the Argentines to win the game. Because they might try as much as possible to play very tactical and very physical against the young folks from Spain. But Rodri, if he comes to the party, Argentina will find things very, very difficult. Then you see them over the likes of Deport and Co. trying to get the final tactics. Romario, all of them over there to get the final tactics against the European giants will be very, very interesting. World champions, current holders against Europeans, champions will be very, very interesting. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good final.
And Lautaro Martinez will be in the fray.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got the bashes, the criticisms of not delivering most of the time. Julian Alvarez comes in. play before he comes back. Anytime he tries to put people, I think he's got 3 goals so far in the World Cup. And maybe, just maybe, the likes of Joshua will be very happy that Lautaro Martinez, who plays for Inter Milan, will score a goal tomorrow.
Yeah, so Lautaro Martinez, best friend is Phil Cote. So we'll see how that goes. So the team is going to fly out to New Jersey later.
That's in New York.
Yeah, ahead of the game against Spain at the New Jersey Stadium, and that's going to be on Sunday, where we're all going to see a beautiful game.
Let me tell you a particular story which is quite worrying over there in Spain. That issue has cropped up again. You know, when you talk about Barcelona, they are the minority in Spain. They form what we call Catalonia, and they nearly broke away from Spain.
Yes.
A lot of people are not happy about that situation. And remember that the Spanish national team, 92% of the team is made of Barcelona. Real Madrid players are only 2. Already, there's a lot of some division in Spain as to whether we should support a country called Spain with Barcelona players or not. And I tell you that the technical handlers, especially the physios, will have to work on the players very well. Like, let's play as a team, let's play as a country and get the results. And again, too, that issue of younger players going to play Messi, they need to work on that one. If they don't work on that, it could affect it. This is a gentleman we've seen for a very long time, growing up as a 2 or 3-year-old boy at Manasia. See him playing for 10, 15 years for Barcelona, then you're going to play against him. If you don't work on that one, it will be a problem. So the Spaniards have huge issues to tackle. For the Argentines, they wholly have to play as a team and ensure that they mark Rodri, and I think they'll be fine.
They're going to be fine, right?
Yeah.
So on Sunday, as we're talking about... On Sunday, sorry, as we're talking about, the closing ceremony will be headlined by, wow, we're going to have a lot of performances. Post Malone, you're going to have Robbie Williams, Laura Pausini, Nicole Scherzinger, and Jennifer Hudson. Yeah. That's going to be the closing ceremony. And then the halftime, when the first 45 minutes is done, they're going to have Justin Bieber performing, Madonna performing, Shakira performing, BTS is also performing, and also Burna Boy will be performing on Sunday.
Okay, I'll tell you about this. Like I told you, for the very first time, the first album, 25 minutes, it could extend up to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And FIFA have been criticized already that it's likely it's going to spoil the rhythm of the players. It's only 15 minutes they've been accustomed to. Now, 25 minutes is just for commercial purposes. And this is being driven by the Americans because the finals is staged in America, New York. Yes, they have been criticized, but they're also thinking about how we're going to make money, ensure that everybody is settled. Because these artists, when they come, they'll get huge sums of money. You're talking about Burna Boy, talking about Shaki, all of them, they'll call a lot of money.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes will not be, it will be too minimal for them to perform 2 minutes and get out of the place. So they should understand that, yes, as much as you want to watch football, organizers and FIFA will have to make money.
Yeah, definitely. And talking about the World Cup, we're hearing rumors about next 4 years, and intent to expand to 64 teams.
I think it's something that is on the wall. It's been on the calendar very, very well. But it will spoil the beauty of world football. I mean, that's a 24, 32, 48. Before I realize we go to 100. When are they going to finish? I'm sure if Infantino is still in the seats, maybe they might pass it. But if he goes away, I don't think it's going to work very well. I don't think so.
Right. Yeah. Johnny, let's do some tennis and then we wrap up.
Okay. Well, Ghana is hosting the rest of Africa and ITF Youth Championship at the University of Ghana and that of Botoma, all in the Greater Accra region. And ahead of the championship, US-based Ghanaian Felix Latte has donated a Team Ghana to help them prepare.
We also enjoy this kind of equipment, and anytime we see them coming, we are happy because we will get some old equipment. So why don't, as soon as I get here, I said I decided to do the same thing. So for 6 years I try to help every year. So I think I'm glad to help the national team, and I'll keep on doing the same thing as well.
On behalf of the national youth team, we want to say a very big thank you to Felix Latte for this goods, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
So, on behalf of Ghana Table Tennis Association, we want to thank Felix Latte, aka Spider, who is now in the US, Westchester Table Tennis Club, for sending this rubber sheet table tennis ball to help the national team.
Go to Felix Latte for showing this kind gesture.
Like I always say, we have players who've gone outside, and we expect all of them to try as much as possible to help the national team. Most of these guys don't have very good rubbers, and they are all very good. So this is such a good gesture, and we actually applaud it. And we are grateful to you, Felix. We don't take this for granted. We know that you love Ghana and you are doing your best.
Executive Director of the Ghana Table Tennis, together with members of the youth table tennis team of Ghana, preparing for the ITTF Youth Championship stage here in Accra. They are currently at Lagos in Lita Moto Botima. But still talking about table tennis, the president of the Ghana Table Tennis Federation, Malcolm Fajinu, has praised the leadership of the ITF for investing in African table tennis. He's been speaking to the media and saying that Ghana stands to benefit for the concept. Let's see. Still talking. Phil, maybe let's return back to the World Cup again.
True. I've seen a video where the president was with the sportsmen that saying that the Black Stars did well, and if Kairos continues, the next AFCON World Cup will do well.
But remember, Ghana is not going to the next AFCON. Ghana is not participating.
Yeah, so the next one. the next one. But as we've talked about Kairos, that a world do us some good to keep him, right? I
think it will be a good idea. The issue that if the gentleman who is 70 plus going, born in Africa, is a Portuguese, and maybe if he doesn't want to retire from football, maybe he should carry on. But if he's too old with the ideas of trying to manage the noise here in Ghana regarding the GFA and the Black Stars, I think we should leave for him. But for now, he's done incredibly well. And I like the father-grandfather figure that the boys is seeing him. You know, you cannot disrespect your grandfather or your father. And that's also influenced the team. If he's the right man to lead Ghana, why not? Maybe we'll transform the team. But we have to wait. Not this time around at the AFCON. It will be the next AFCON, which you and I may be.
Phil, thank you very much for joining us here. The World Cup highlight shows at 3 p.m. Join us here on Metro TV and Original TV. Tomorrow we're bringing to you the third place game between France and England. And also on Sunday, the grand final of the 2026 World Cup, and then it comes to an end. It's been an exciting one, but of course, we have still some iPhones to give out, so please watch the programs and then you can win one for yourself. My name is Desmond Okreku. Many thanks for joining us today. Log on to www.metrotvonline.com for more news updates. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Welcome to GH Schools, your #1 trading